I'm back. What's up, YouTube? JJ the Lonely Bull in Asia, back in BGC, Bonifacio Global City in Metro Manila, the NCR. And this was my home for almost 3 years, so yeah, I guess I could call it that. But let's talk about why I'm back. Yeah, I'm back in BGC right now on High Street, Soldier. But anyway, let's talk about why I'm back. A couple of things. I actually took the red eye flight overnight. Left Da Nang, Vietnam, about 7 o'clock last night, and I flew into Ho Chi Minh City, and I had a 4-hour layover, and then I left about 1 a.m. from Ho Chi Minh City, and I got in here about 5 a.m. local time, so 5 a.m. in the Philippines time. So I literally overnight got about 20 minutes sleep on that first leg of the flight, maybe slept an hour or maybe an hour and a half from Ho Chi Minh City to Manila Airport. So I got a little rest. I'm caffeinated up. I stopped at the 7-Eleven or Lawson's actually, had a coffee and a donut, and then went over to High Street South and Denny's about 6 a.m. and got breakfast there and another coffee, and then went to Coffee Project over by my old condo and had another coffee and charged my phone up, and actually kind of took a little nap there too. So nothing better than those coffee naps, those caffeine naps, when you crash and burn and you get a nice little 20-minute nap there. So I was able to stay in the AC and stuff. But I got here, and there's a couple of reasons I came back, and you may guess one of them. But but anyway, so if you missed the video I posted a while back about what I needed to do with my passport, that's the main reason I came here, is I need to renew my passport, and I just felt more comfortable doing it here in the Philippines because I know the BI office, I know where the embassy is, I know how the process works, I know how to mail my stuff in. So what I'll do is I'll mail my passport and the paperwork in to the embassy, and it's like a 3 or 4 week process. I think maybe a little longer than that. But the nice thing is I can keep renewing my visa here every 30 days. All I need to do is show a copy of the paperwork that I'm waiting for my passport, and they'll go ahead and renew my visa. I wasn't sure about doing it in Vietnam or doing it in Thailand. I'm just not comfortable, and I would have to have gone to Ho Chi Minh City, and I'm not familiar very much with Ho Chi Minh City. I've only been there a couple of times and just briefly, so I didn't know Ho Chi Minh City very well, so I wasn't comfortable about going there. And then in Thailand, in Bangkok, they have one BI office, so it's really a pain in the rear to get your visa extended because there's one BI office in the entire Metro Bangkok. So there's long lines, and also I wasn't sure if I'd be able to renew by just showing my paperwork and not my actual passport. I didn't know how it worked there, but I know how it works here, so I'm comfortable. So that's one reason I came back. Another reason I came back is I miss BGC. I miss Bonifacio Global City. It's a beautiful little bubble, but I miss my little bubble. It was home for almost 3 years to me, so it's kind of nice to be back. And I'll meet up with some friends later today, most likely. I'm not even sure if all of my friends know I'm back or not, or if they know I'm coming back. They didn't know when. I'm not sure. I know I talked to one of my friends, so he knows for sure. But anyway, so yeah, I got to hook up with some old friends, go to the old hangouts that we used to go to, and see how things have changed, and maybe reconnect with some old flames. maybe. We'll see. But I noticed some things have changed. The fort down here on 5th Avenue and 26th is being torn down. I mean, I knew it was coming, but they said in 2025, and they're not wasting any time. They've got half of that whole thing tore down, including the new club, BSK, which was right there. That's gone now. And there's a Chinese restaurant right on the corner there of 28th and 5th Avenue, right on the corner of the fort there, and that's gone. So, hello. So that's gone also. So, and that was about a year and a half old. So both of those establishments were fairly new, and now they're gone. So I don't know what the situation with that was, whether they were aware going into those buildings that it was all coming down within a year of being open, because that BSK club hasn't even been open a year, I don't believe. So that's kind of weird. I thought, I knew they were going to tear the fort down, but I thought they were going to tear all the older places down and leave those establishments up and just build back around it. But it sounds like they're going to tear the whole thing. It looks like they're going to tear the whole thing down. Now, what they're going to put in there instead, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to build there. Maybe another condo building or two. Seems like that's all they do here is build condo units, and then 80% of them sit empty because they can't get them sold. But there's no shortage of rentals around here. You can find rentals, and those go up pretty fast. Those go fairly quickly. The neat thing is, I got my old condo back on 5th Avenue place. Same one. My plan was I had a Airbnb here for 2 days when I flew in, and then I was going to look in Makati for a cheap short-term condo. It's hard to find short-term condos here in BGC, but you can find them in Makati at a condo called Jazz, and it's like 3 or 4 buildings. It's fairly nice. They're smaller units. They're like 32 or 34 square meters, but for a short term, you can do a 3-month loan. That's what I was going to do. And then they've got great workout facilities there. They've got like 3 or 4 swimming pools. So it's very nice. And it's conveniently located right near the business district, right near the Gospi Park. But anyway, so that was my plan originally. But I decided to, just out of the blue, I contacted the owner of my condo when I was living here before. And I just asked her, I didn't know if they had any other units. So I said, do you have anything available, or do you know of anything available? And she goes, well, I think you're meant to be here because your unit just came up available. So I said, well, I only need 3 months. And so she gave me a really good deal for 3 months. So I'm only paying $25,000 for my 50 square meter corner unit, 29th floor condominium with the great view of the golf course and Makati skyline. So I'm paying $25,000, which is $400 and some a month, and I'll do that for 3 months until I get my passport. Now, future plans. So my original intention was to live 90 days or 3 months in Bangkok, and I've still got my condo there. Live in Da Nang for Vietnam for 90 days. And just kind of bounce back and forth between the two cities. I got the big city life of Bangkok and the small beach city life of Da Nang. But, and then maybe bounce around here in other places sporadically throughout the year. That was my original plan, but it seems like every time I went somewhere, like if I come to Da Nang, I would miss Bangkok. And Da Nang's great, but it can get kind of boring. And so my personal preference, I won't stay there 6 months out of the year, 3 months at a time. I'm not going to do that anymore. Even though I had a cheap apartment for like $270 a month, something like that. But I let that lease expire. And if I go back there, and I will go back, I'll just look for cheap hotels or cheap short-term rentals because they're abundant there. You can find them. Even though prices are going up a little bit there now, it's still a lot cheaper than anywhere else here in the Philippines or in Thailand or Bangkok. So that's the way I'll do it. I'll just do it as I go there. I'm not going to keep a place there. I shoved all my stuff in my backpack. I mean, I had a lot more stuff than I thought I did, but it was pretty heavy. And I thought, oh, if they start weighing this stuff and they say I'm overweight, I'm going to have to start throwing clothes away or something. But I got lucky. I put it on the scale, but they never said anything. And I think it was, I think my backpack weight was like 11 kilos, and I think the limit is 7 maybe. I'm not sure. I flew via jet from Da Nang to Ho Chi Minh City, and then I flew Cebu Pacific from Ho Chi Minh City to Manila. But they didn't say anything, just put a little sticker on it that says carry-on luggage. So I got lucky there. So I got all my clothes from Da Nang that I had there. I still have most of my stuff back in Bangkok at my condo there. My desktop, my studio's up there. So I just have a laptop here and just my gear, my take-around gear, and then like 5 or 6 changes of clothes. So I'll either just keep doing laundry, and the nice thing about my condo is I've got a washer there, so that makes it really easy. Or I may buy some new stuff here. Some of the stuff's getting kind of old. I think I got a shirt with the logo peeling off, the Under Armour logo's peeling off, so it was probably a knockoff anyway. I think I got it here anyway. So, but so what my plan is now is I'll keep my home base in Bangkok, and then I might, if I can find a deal here in BGC, that's a nice condo and fairly cheap, I might bounce back and forth from Bangkok to here. Now, I had a phone interview or phone call with Siam Legal Services out of Bangkok, and they specialize in visas, and we had a discussion about a retirement visa for Bangkok. So that's not out of the question yet. I may still do the retirement visa in Bangkok. That would just make it a lot simpler than bouncing back and forth and worrying about them asking me questions when I go back into Bangkok. Why are you coming back so soon, and that sort of thing. Then I won't have to worry. I can just go back and forth whenever I want. And if I get a place here, then I got a second home, and then I can go to Da Nang when the weather's nice. The problem with me being in Da Nang is I was there from December till yesterday, basically. I did head back to Bangkok for a couple weeks, but it rained almost all the time. I mean, it wasn't heavy rains. It wasn't in the monsoon or typhoon time of the year, but it was rainy and chilly, kind of cold actually, upper 60s, lower 70s. Cold for Southeast Asia, that's for sure. So I wasn't there in the ideal time. So the last week I was there, the last 4 or 5 days, the weather was beautiful. I mean, the skies were blue. You could see the ocean colors. It was amazing. So I was like, oh man, it's bad timing on my part. So when I go back there, I'll know when to go back, and it'll be this time of year, or maybe earlier in the fall, before the rainy season starts, like in August or something like that. But it's going to start getting very warm there. The temperatures when I left were hitting 80s. It had always been in the mid 70s up until this past week, and now it's in the 80s. So it's very pleasant there. So if you go to Da Nang, you're going to find that if you go mid to late February through March probably, that's probably your best time to go as far as weather, as far as temperature. But it's so cheap to live there, or just even to stay there. I can get a nice hotel. Last time I was there and I got a hotel, I was paying about $17 a day for the hotel maybe. And the time before that, I only paid like $11 or $12 a day. So that's a pretty good deal, you know. And of course my apartment, if I can find a short-term apartment like I did this past time, that came to only about $9 a day total cost. Plus you got free Wi-Fi there too. So the Wi-Fi in Vietnam and the Wi-Fi in Thailand is so much better than the Wi-Fi here in the Philippines, even here in BGC. I'm lucky I've got fiber optics where my old condo was, where I'm moving back there. So I've got high speed. It's like 500 megabytes per second upload and download. So I've got it pretty well. Another nice thing about BGC, you don't have to worry about brownouts. But you know what? We're getting into that season, that part of the year where it's going to start getting warm. It's not even 10 a.m. yet, and it's already warm. So I'll just find as much shade as I can when I'm walking around, bouncing around from shade to shade, try to stay out of the sun, because you're going to find that if you're in the sun here in the Philippines, it's about 10 degrees higher than it is if you're in the shade. So find shade, find some breeze if you can, and you'll be fine. Or find some aircon, you know, duck into a mall. Which reminds me, another thing that I heard before I left here in October, is that Market, the Ayala Mall, they're going to tear that down, and I think they're going to rebuild a new one there. Now, it is an old mall, and it is in dire need of an upgrade, of some, you know, some makeup. But it sounds like they're going to redo the whole thing. So that will be interesting to see how that works with all the vendors in there, all the retailers, where they're going to go. And even outside, you've got those vendors outside in Market that sell their, you know, their flowers, their fruits, their food, all that. What's going to happen with that? So that will be interesting to see where that leads, because that's supposed to happen in 2025. So I've been gone for about 6 months, and a lot of things have changed already. And so I'll do a couple other videos. I'll walk around and see what places are no longer there, what places are new that's open since I've left, who's here now, who isn't. It'll be fun. So join me for the ride, and make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And as always, live life, my friend, and we'll talk to you again soon. Mabuhay.